Okay, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And we have one of our VAs here at Telecrew, Jonathan, to join us today. Hi, Jonathan. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. Just call me Vince. Jonathan is so long.
Okay, Vince, perfect. So Vince is one of our new team members here at Telecrew, and we're here to do some training and do some coaching. He's transitioning from a call center to becoming a freelance virtual assistant and appointment setter or salesperson, and we're going to help him out learn about the real estate appointment setting. So Vince, we have given you some training, right? Some modules to study, and I believe you were able to watch all of that at our Telecrew University, right?
Yes, I was able to go through all of them.
Okay, perfect. So we do have a Telecrew University wherein this is an exclusive training module for our team members here at Telecrew. So they'd be able to, get an in-depth information about real estate appointment setting. And so you watched the video wherein we discussed about what real estate appointment setting is and what the script, right? And how to
Yes.
handle the objection. So before we get started, I wanted to remind you because there is the conversation there is very thorough wherein if the client is not interested, I have a different video for that to discuss. If you're watching this for the first time, I have different videos wherein I discussed what real estate appointment setting is and what we do, why are we needed in that field. So if you want to go ahead and watch that before you watch this video, I encourage you to do that so you would be able to catch up. So going back with rebuttals, so we got to be careful. You have to ask your client, right, if ever they want you to rebut or not, right? Because the thing is, the opening that I shared with you when handling objection, because everybody wouldn't be interested to sell a property, right? So hi, my name is Vince. I'm calling from ABC Realty, and we're buying properties cash. And I was wondering if you would be open to sell your home for if you get a cash offer. So not everyone would be interested to do that, or would be interested to get a cash offer, would be interested to sell because the house is one of the biggest assets they have. So as for me, in that training, I said that if they're not interested, you have to dig deeper, right? And ask questions. And maybe it might not be an appointment today. It could be a call back in the future. But you got to be careful. For example, you already have a client because sometimes they don't want you to rebut and just move on to the next call, which I'm not built like that. So if ever there's an opportunity, I would like to rebut once or twice. But we had this one client where he wanted to just, are you interested in getting a cash offer? No, I'm not interested. Okay, do you have any other properties that you might be interested in selling? No, I don't have. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Hung up. And that's not what I trained in that module. So the training was about handling objections. If they're not interested, what kind of questions you will ask, and then throw in some sort of probing. You're not really rebutting, but kind of probing, right? So you gotta when you get a client, you gotta ask them. So would you like me to give a few rebuttals? If they say no, because I'd like that, so at least I might get an opportunity. But of course, if you rebut so much to the point that even if it doesn't make sense, it might be a wasted time for your client, because maybe you might submit a lead that does not really have an interest, right? So you gotta use your call judgment. Okay, so are you ready for the role play?
Oh yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm gonna be realistic, okay? Not all of your customers would be interested. Not all of your customers would be happy to hear your voice. Would be happy to
Yeah.
to have you calling them. So I would be giving you a realistic scenario. Okay, this is not, you don't have to be perfect. This is your first time doing the role play. So if you make a mistake, we can do it again. No problem. All right, so our
All right.
goal here is to do it by repetition. Now, since you don't have an experience, the best way to train you to become a good real estate appointment setter is to do it by repetition. So expect that this is not the only time that we'll be doing the role play. So in order for you to be familiar with it and be comfortable, we have to at least do three to four sessions. Yeah, I'm ready when you are.
All right. So, ring ring.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, I'm looking for Jazzy Lozada. Is she there?
Yeah, who's this? That's me.
Hi. Oh, hi, Jazzy. My name is Vince, and I know this call is out of the blue, but I was calling about a property I believe you own in 012 Coconut Street. And I just wanted to see if you would consider an offer on your property there.
Not really looking to sell, Vince. I know a lot of people have called me, and
Mhm.
I'm not really looking to sell. Do you have a price range for me? I mean, if
Actually,
ever.
what about the price range? Actually, I have my acquisition manager who does the numbers for you. For the nitty gritty stuff, he's actually one of the best persons to consult. But just to let you know as well, Jazz, we actually buy properties in cash, and the best part of it is, you don't have there would be no additional costs for it. There wouldn't be any, let's just say additional costs uh, or any other what you call this underlying costs when it comes to
Mhm.
this. And also we buy properties in as is conditions. So whatever the current condition of the property you have there, it'll be we will buy it as well. And also if there are also closing fees or closing dues, we can actually shoulder it for you.
Mhm.
So by any chance, may I ask, do you have an idea of how much would you consider buying out the property?
No, I don't know. Because like I said, I told you I don't have any plans to sell.
Mm.
Um,
But may I ask, when would be the right moment that you would consider selling out the property?
I'm not sure if what the right moment is. I really can answer. That's a tough question because we just bought the house. My kids are studying here. We don't really have a, like, unless it's a really really good offer. I mean, maybe, but realistically, our plan to move wouldn't be, after 2 years or something.
May I know, Jazzy, how long have you been staying in the property? Did you just buy it, or is it was it recently bought?
We just bought it like 3-4 years ago.
And also, may I ask, just out of curiosity, is the condition of the place, were there any like repairs or remodeling that has to be done? Like, were there any changes in the kitchen, in the bathroom, or roofing?
Not really. I mean, there are some cosmetic things that you have to do, but it's not really like, big deal. I mean, it's move-in ready, but it could use some painting and some touch up, just cosmetic things.
Also, you just mentioned that you might let me just you might sell the property after 2 years. So may I know why after 2 years? What's important? What is important that you are able to sell it after 2 years? Or you are I mean you are considering to sell it after 2 years?
You mean, why do I have to wait after 2 years?
Yes.
Um, because that's the time that my children would be finishing high school, and they go to college, and it's just gonna be me and my husband, and so it's a
Mhm.
lot easier for us to move and maybe downsize, or maybe get a one level home.
Mm. Well, actually, that's actually a pretty good idea. That at least when once the kids are done with school and they're going to college, at least downsize and move to maybe a simpler place. Or if you're going to move, I may ask as well, if are you going to move within the state or are you going out of state? If that happens, just out of curiosity.
I mean, we can move out of state. We have some family in Texas, but
Mhm.
the ultimate goal is to move within, like, it's okay if we move within the state, same area, and get, like I said, downsize or get us a one level home.
Oh, I see. So here's the so thank you so much for the information, Jazzy. So if we ever can we give you like a call back after maybe 2 years and check, or maybe after a year to check on you, uh, especially regarding your decision to sell the property. And if ever if we get someone to find you a home maybe with your preferences, like to move in, maybe downsize or in a one level area, one level property, would you consider taking the offer if ever?
Um, no, not really. I mean, I know that you guys are going to offer me a low, I mean, you're going to give me probably a lower price, or it's not going to be a market value because, like you said, you wanted to give a cash offer. I mean, a lot of people called me, someone offered me 150 for my home. And I know that
Mhm,
I could get more than that with how the market is right now.
mhm.
And I can feel that you might offer the same thing. Not in a rush. I don't have to sell. So I think it would be a waste of time if you would have your manager call me and talk, because I wouldn't sell unless it's a good price. But like I said, it might not happen because you know you're giving me a cash offer, and it wouldn't be at a market value.
I understand, Jazzy. Well, thank you so much, Jazzy, for taking your time today in answering my call. Thank you so much, and have a great day ahead.
Okay, very good, Vince. How do you feel about it?
I am feeling my two favorite emotions right now: excited and scared.
Really nice. What made you excited and what made you scared? I mean, you don't have to be scared, but what made you feel those two?
Actually excited because I'm actually applying what I've been watching over the videos. Actually, Jazzy, I've been watching all of your videos, and I mean, you explain it so smooth, and I really like it. It's like she's very relatable, especially with the situation right now and the realities of people in buying property, especially in the United States. Actually, it can be applied in the Philippines as well. We have same scenarios, but we don't have people selling properties. It's just that
Yeah,
it
it's
goes
quite
through
different
banks.
here, right? It's
Yeah.
quite different here. And that's the exciting part. I was scared because
Because I might miss on the four pillars.
okay, okay, that's awesome. To be honest with you, if I were to rate our role play from 1 to 10, I'd rate you 9/10, because
Awesome.
yeah, because what I like about you is you have intuition, right? It's very hard to come by. Sometimes people would stick to the script, and the script is there to actually help and guide you um, to know what to say, right? You can use the script as a guide, but really you don't have to be verbatim. You can use your own word and be comfortable with it, because sometimes the mistake that I'm seeing for people that are sticking to the script so much is that they read it but they don't understand it. They don't understand the flow. All right.
Yeah.
And what happens is they would sound really robotic and scripted. And if ever the flow is not, it goes like what I did. We ask few things, and I'm pretty sure that you were like, which part of the script is that, right? So
Yes, actually.
yeah,
It's like in my brain, it's like, okay, what's next?
yeah, okay,
What can I
okay.
do this?
Because not all the calls will go the way you want it to go. Like
That is correct.
the conversation is different on each and every call. Now the problem is if you are using your script and you're too like focused on the script, but really you don't understand it. Like if someone says this, what would be your next question? What would be your next, rebuttal? What would be your next, what are the next words? What's the next call flow? And then you'll be stuck with okay, just let me okay, you'll be rattled, and your customer would hang up on you. Just a few seconds that you would sound unsure, they wouldn't bother, because that's going to be, because by then you are wasting their time, right? So I'll just hang up, right? In your case, what I love about you is you build rapport, and while before you don't ask question, you don't bombard them with question, because I portrayed a person or a woman who's not interested but willing to talk to you. Okay, and you have to be careful with that, because sometimes it happens, like in every call center experience, someone is willing to talk to you and spend hours on the phone, but really you're done with the call, right?
Yes,
So in your
actually.
case, you did your part. You even ask the commitment question. So let's go back. So in the beginning, you ask energy on the call first. The first few seconds, I love it, right? Because the energy in the first, I mean, considering you didn't have sales experience, I wonder why you didn't have any sales experience. Majority of the experiences that you had based on your resume is related to customer service or non-voice or more on technicalities. But you have the potential, so the script in the beginning. So hi, I'm looking for, hi, this is Vince, and I'm, the energy is there, and you really would catch the attention of the other person, right? Because a lot of people are calling them, and I mean, why would I stay on the phone with you? How, I mean, what separates you from the other guy who called me 10 minutes earlier, right? So, but you're enthusiastic, and I love it. And then you kind of got rattled with a part when I asked you about the price, right? So I'm not interested, but I mean, there would be a lot of customers like that if you're calling for a wholesaler or an investor. I'm not interested, but how much are you going to give me? And you will be tempted. Some agents or some callers will be tempted to tell them the price, but you can't, right? Even if you are seeing it on Zillow, you can't, because you don't know what your client or what your acquisition manager will offer, because you haven't done the comps, you haven't done the research on the property. So there has to be a certain study, right? So it's very good. You kind of got shaken on that part, but you were able to pick it up real quick, right? So my acquisition, and you used your own words, with the nitty gritty stuff, something like that. So I really love that you when you were trying to figure out what to say, you were using your own words to, to smoothly transition it to the right path. And I love it, because that means that you know the flow. You don't know the actual wordings per se, like you haven't memorized it, but you know what to say. Therefore, it would still be, delivered with the same meaning, right? So you were saying, my acquisition manager, he's the one doing this and blah, blah, blah. And then you transition, like, you don't have to pay, and always reiterate, no commission costs. So we are buying, we are the direct buyer. There would be any real estate commission. We buy in an as is condition. So for that price, how much do you, so it's very good. Very good. All right. And then after that, you will building some rapport. And what I love about it is that you were able to you were trying to convince, or you were trying to know if there's a chance without sounding pushy. So you were asking questions. The line of questioning like that for the time frame. So why is that important for you? I understand that you were asking it differently. And that's fine, because this is your first time doing it, right? So yeah, that's great. You want to sell in 2 years. It's just one question. Why is that important for you? Right? Or maybe the way you ask it eventually was, why would you have to wait for 2 years, if you wouldn't mind me asking? So that's great. You ask it in a way that's not intrusive, very conversational. And so I was able to open up. It's because of my children, they would graduate. Okay. And then you were able to dig even deeper on that. Right. So if you move, where do you plan to go? Do you want to go out of state? Do you want to, I love it. Right. So right there and then you already have the information. You were even able to ask the condition of my house, even if I'm not going to sell. Right. So I told you that. And after that, you told me that you wanted to, you asked me if, what do you call this, where I'm going, and I told you this and that. I'll be, what do you call this, getting a 1-level home, and I'll be downsizing. And then after that, you know that I have to wait because of my children. So right there and then you were able to gauge, like, how would you be able to, what do you call this? How would you be able to beat the children's studies, right? I mean, it would have to be, a very, what do you call this, an offer that someone couldn't really refuse, So, but one thing that I could suggest, in the future, if ever you have, because you have the leverage, you have all the information, and the lead was trying to tell you, like, maybe in the future, maybe if the price is good, I might sell. There is an indication that there is a soft or a slight interest that they might sell sooner, provided that I was giving you some hints, right?
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
again, I guess you used your call judgment, and that's okay. In the future, you can still ask, because there's already a connection between you and the lead. So in the future, maybe you can ask, all right, so can I ask you, ma'am, if ever, I mean, this is just a hypothetical question, but if ever you find out that you can and then insert the motivation, which is you can downsize and get a smaller home, and get a better price for your property, right? If you sell sooner as opposed to when you wait, would you consider selling and not wait 2 years? Right?
Actually, that was the I was actually looking into that opportunity, but
Yes.
actually I was thinking, oh no, the call is a bit taking too long. So I was also gauging if the caller is a bit
No,
is
that's
maybe
fine.
time
You
conscious
would
as well.
you would know if the caller is not happy with the conversation, or if you would know with how they are communicating with you. They might say, you would know it by the tone of voice, right? And at
Yes.
the end of the day, even if they get angry, you're not really in, like, you're not there. They won't be able to hurt you, right?
Yes.
After that call, at least there wouldn't be any ifs and buts. You know that you did your best 100%, right?
Yes.
Now, if your client asks you, why don't you have any leads today? You can tell your client, you can listen to my calls, and I really did my best. I mean, it's not an excuse, but at the end of the day, you can tell yourself that you're doing your best, and you would feel good about that. It feels good whenever you know that you exerted your 100% all the time. So although if you did say that, most likely the lead would not budge, because we're talking about downsizing when the kids are still with them, right? But she has been saying that for the right price,
Or the
maybe
right price.
yes, for the right. She's been saying that. So hypothetically, you always do. So for example, you find out that if you sell sooner, you can get more money as opposed to when you wait. Would you consider knowing more about that? Would you consider hearing what we have to say? Yeah, sure. Perhaps they would say that, or no, really, unless you can offer me $1 million, then they're being sarcastic, right? There would be
Okay.
people
Yeah.
like that would say, I unless you offer me $1 million, and it's going to be, you have to be careful with that. I mean, you can't submit something, a house that's valued, or you're seeing the Zillow estimate is $150,000, and they're asking for $1 million. So that's not a good lead, right? But this
That's
is,
overpricing in its
yes,
case.
overpricing to the max. so,
Yes.
so this one is a very unique scenario, but it's a callback, and you did great in terms of when you call back, you cut it in half. So you said that, because that's how it is. If you want to call someone back, make sure that you call them back in, like if they say 6 months, you would call them back in 3 months. So always cut it in half.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a great experience. You're one of the best people that I've trained. First training session is like this, and I'm really happy. It seems that you've done it a long time. So yeah.
Because I think because I grew up, my mom was in the retail business.
Okay,
So
that's
yeah,
great.
but if you know the surf brand Quicksilver, it's a surf
Yes,
and sports brand.
yes.
She used to be the country manager for the Philippines back in the
Oh,
90s.
okay, good for your
So
mom.
I
That's
was
really nice.
so I was exposed to warehousing, how sales works, even
Mhm.
the nitty-gritty stuff on the barcodes on how they work.
Really great. So that's great. Now you have the personality, you have the skills, and I'm excited to help you grow and really get into real estate appointment setting. I guess you would really make it big here. So yeah, I guess we'll just need another 1 or 2 sessions before I can say, like, I can confidently say that Vince has graduated my course and he's ready. And it's okay. By the end of the day, you cannot sell to everybody. If it's a callback, it's a callback. You used your good call judgment, and that's fine. And you would want to do that instead of giving your client a lead that's going to be a waste of their time, right? So yeah, it's a great experience, and I would love to have another session with you. You have my calendar link, and you can just book another meeting so we can do that. I'm going to give you a tougher or a more difficult scenario by then.
All right.
Okay, and I look forward to talking to you again, Vince. Okay,
All right. Thank you so much.
thank you, Vince. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye bye.